We are live. Welcome in, guys. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Sorry that I got here a little late. Was fixing a couple things for the stream. Perfect. What's up? What's up? Let's send this out. Let's send this out to everyone. What's up? It's been a minute, guys. How's everyone doing? We're getting people starting to come in. How are y'all doing? We are live. Right. Let me know if y'all want me to zoom in the screen a little bit more for y'all. Let me see. Okay. Let me know if that's good for y'all to see. Let me zoom in actually a bit more. Get this all set up for y'all guys. So give me a second. Okay. No wonder. Okay, there we go. I was trying to fix this monitor screen, but now we got it going. What is up, guys? Hope everyone's having a phenomenal day. How is everyone? We got 5 people currently on. Drop where you're tuning in from. Are you tuning in from Texas, California, Arizona? We made it through another week. And it's going to be a very, very interesting week as we go through in. But as of right now, we are in this gold buy. The reason we are in this gold buy, I called this out for the group chat. We did break, right? Yes, market was pushing below. I feel like we came back, rebalanced it, filled in this gap, right? We saw that right here is your last lower low, lower high, lower low. So what we can attend to is we broke our previous lower high, created a new high, higher low, higher high, and now we're working our way up continuously. For me, right, very, very simple trade, right? Market is now wanting to continue to go higher. For me, I believe that we will continue to go higher, at least to take out these highs. But again, we do want to understand what's going on in the economy, what's going on with these wars, and what do we have for news this week, right? So starting off, guys, let's go check out Forex Factory, right? It's going to be a very interesting week. We have a lot of news that we need to mainly focus. And guys, when it comes to looking at news, right, my main priority is red and orange folders. The only reason I say orange is because it might not be something huge, but it might be able to make enough impact in order to push the trade a certain way with the volatility of that time. Now, so it is 8 a.m. obviously tomorrow. 9 a.m. we have PMI. Australian JPY, right, as well GBP, AUD on Tuesday. Wednesday, right, we have non-farm employment change from 7:15, 9 a.m. and this is Central Time. And then we can see Thursday, we have unemployment claims, and then Friday, right, we have a non-farmer, employment change. So a lot of news coming out this week. Now, right, what we do want to see is really what is the next goal, right now. I just haven't really looked into it, right? But if we go look at the war news, just keep updated. Trump warns of more U.S. casualties in war with Iran. Trump warns there could be more casualties after service members killed. How are U.S. Boom. So if we're gonna see any news, just go check out Wall Street. Right, the Wall Street journals. Trump warns possible as blast rock midcast, right? U.S. and Israel launched strikes again from Iran, triggering a retaliatory barrage from Tehran, right? So, guys, I want you to understand the only reason I'm bringing this up, as well, yesterday, I think they blocked the route to oil, right, out in Iran, right? Turmoil takes hold at CDC at top official leaving. So there's gonna be a couple things that we can expect to happen. Number one, we can expect commodities, right? Mainly commodities, which is our gold, silver, and U.S. oil to continue flourishing up. Now, if you ask me what's the best play, right, I think it's gonna have to be oil, right? Let's see. Let's try this one. Right, it's gonna have to be oil, and the reason why. Interesting. Hold up. Let's try two. I don't like this. Means it's not accurate. All right, we'll take this one. Right. Well, this is the accurate where oil is at right now. As we can see, right, when market opened, it had a huge spike, right, a huge gap. Right now, we're working our way back down. Ideally, I would want to see this come back a little more lower. The way I trade is very simple, very straight to the point, and it gets all the details that I need out the way. Obviously, we're looking for consolidation, break a structure. We break new highs, higher low, new higher high, and we simply wait for that return of the market to our 78886 zone. So when it comes to oil, for me, this is a great setup. I would want to see it come back down one more time before we still continue going higher. As you can see, we came up to 75 when market opened. And I can see, obviously this going two ways. It's a very, very sad thing that's going on. And what we have to understand, when we do enter these markets, these are markets that are, caused through, people going through crisis, people going through wars, people that are getting killed, right? And the sad truth is within the years is people been able to, profit from it. And something I just understood, as sad as it could sound, no matter what, someone's gonna be doing this. So why not be you, right? If you're not the one investing your money, someone's gonna be managing your money for you. So you might as well learn the skill set for yourself, and to be able to find a way where your money's gonna just continue enhancing and growing. So US oil, I do want to see this. Obviously, if we look at the 4 hour, insane, right? Insane candle. I can see us working down a bit more. I really would love that, right? If we can get this zone, I would love buys, and I will be holding those buys. Now, when it comes to oil, yes, right? We are in this gold buy right now, right? We're risking 250. And honestly, my goal is at least 5,600, right? That's around 250. Does it have to do that? Absolutely not, right? Obviously, once we hit that 1 to 1, right, I automatically move my stop loss to break even. And usually that 1 to 3 would be 750. But let's say hypothetically the market does start pushing, right? We start getting a momentum. I'm gonna just continue dragging my stop loss as soon as we break even, right? I'm gonna continue dragging my stop to those new lower highs, higher lows, right? And pretty much follow the trend until structure breaks, and it shows me something else. But as of right now, right, this is a beautiful trade. And like I was saying, guys, I want y'all to understand the reason why I got into this trade is the shift of the trend, right? Obviously, overall, right, bigger time frame. We go from the 4 hour. We can see we've been working our way up, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Honestly, this was our previous higher low. All right, and what we can see, I mean, just here itself, like, check this out, right? Straight to our zone, right? This was a beautiful zone that could have been played out. Consolidation, you have your push below. We have our institutions push up the market, right? We wait for that return, 7886. We got that return, right? So I think market's still bullish. Nothing, even though maybe the smaller time frames might have been showing, this insane amount of bearishness, but as well, it was just correcting itself throughout the way. As we go in, just following structure, boom, we created low, technically, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? And ideally, what you would want to expect is a new lower low. What market did, played around a lot, didn't break above, and then finally broke above. What that tells me is that market then turned bullish, and we are looking for potential ways to continue going higher, right? As I looked at that, obviously, we have this zone consolidation, break structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. Let's see if this played out or did come to our zone. Right? Didn't, right? But it was close enough. Either way, if you look at right here, you have your consolidation, break a structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. Came in that sweet spot, 7886, and then continue going higher, right? There is a couple possibilities what gold can do, right? We see this consolidation push down. We have the institution and moves up, right? We can obviously work our way down here, but due to certain circumstances like the war, I just don't believe we will be selling down to 5,100. Kind of doesn't really make sense to me. But hypothetically, let's say Trump is able to take care of this war under 90 days. He gets everything under control. Once that is done, maybe gold can have that retracement. But as of right now, people are creating fear, and when fear is happening, people are gonna run to the most secure assets you can have. Cash isn't king right now. People are going to silver, they're going to gold. But what a lot of people aren't really understanding right now with these assets, like I mentioned, the only one I would recommend is oil. And even silver, we why is it doing that? Interesting. I've never seen it do that before. Silver. Two. Cool. Right. Silver, right? We can see, right, silver is working its way up. But as we can see, this was just a retracement. If you would have just caught the retracement back, you would have pretty much a 50% return on this investment, right? Silver is something we've been calling out ever since the early 2020s. As you can see, like, if we just go back in time, to early 2020s. Silver was at $20. You were able to 5x your income, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people are taking advantage. But as well, a lot of people are now starting to buy here at this area. Right now, the true question is I truly believe whatever goes down, the law of gravity, right? Whatever goes up must come down, right? Same thing when it comes to this is my, it's not, I wouldn't say, I guess my scenario that I would want to see soon, right? And it really would be the markets crashing. But the true question is you have to ask yourself what would be needed to happen in order for the markets to start crashing, right? And I think we're at that point. It's like, oh, a world war, right? Maybe Russia gets involved, maybe China gets involved, and now we're dealing with crisis here within the United States. For me, that ideally, because look at all this. This market has just been bullish ever since, and I do believe that we do need a retracement. Why does it do this? It's very interesting, right? So as you can see, market has just been insanely bullish, especially if you're someone that invests into the SPX, S&P, Nasdaq. But this from 2009, which was at 700, to almost being at 7,000, right? You're looking at a 15-year, 14-year, 16-year difference. My bad. And you would have probably 100x your income or 10x your income, right? If you would have bought at 700, right? So now the question is when do we get a retracement? When do we see the market come back down? And for me, there's a couple areas where I would want to see the market come down. Obviously we have this zone right here, but ideally if I'm thinking at least reasonable, it would be here, right here at that 4,000. But what did I just say? Something crazy, dramatic would have to happen in order for this to even be considered, right? So as of right now for SPX, I do want to see it come down below. As you can see, we have the market consolidating. We have a push below. Then as it makes a push below, right, what the market does, it shifts directions. We see a good amount of institutional candles pushing up, recreate new highs, right? The market then creates not just one higher high, but multiple higher highs, stays above this zone, right? And it gives us pretty much the liquidity that we're seeking. A reason why this market could go back down, because we have a bunch of retail traders buying here, right? We want to push down, come back to the zone, right? And look for buys. SGO, what's up, Samuel? What is up, Jose? We got Jose in here, Teresa. What is good, guys? Yeah, so ideally this is the POV that ideally I do believe will happen over a long term, right? But as of right now, I can see us working back down the SPX back to the 6,000, and then looking for potential buys. Nasdaq, right? We had a great buy on Nasdaq. I believe I sent this out to the group chat, and with this, which one are we gonna use? We'll use Forex. Right, it was very simple, textbook play, right? We have our consolidation right here, break a structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? We grab our fib from our low to the high, right? We saw, right, it was an exact absolute snipe, right? Market just tapped it, went through our zone, had a rejection. Now the thing is, from now right here, is we did have a rejection, but we're then seeing market lose steam. We're not respecting and continuing going higher. Now, what do I believe is going to happen? If we go in the bigger time frame, It's the same thing, right? Look at this consolidation, break a structure, change of direction, right? Like my best case scenario, I something great. Like just think about it. Like in order for something like this to happen, something crazy has to happen, and it's crazy because we listen to Zachary, Jordan Morgan, and you know their concept of thinking is like everything's designed. And the question is you start thinking and it's like, well, you know, it's just a coincidence of where the market was and when things happen, to be able to move the market, you know, and it's just insane, to even think about it. But yeah, so for me, right, I do want to hold off, right? I see us selling off. Um, Now, when we get to the smaller picture, let's go see how MGC, right? We are up $163 as of right now when it comes to gold, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be patient. Um, for NAS, right? I want to see what it gives us tomorrow morning. But you have a even better picture right here. I mean, look at this. You consolidation, push below, institutional candles, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? We get to that 7886 zone, which was right here, comes in, taps it, liquidates all these people that were buying right here, the retail traders, and then we fucking push up, right? Beautiful, right? Beautiful setup. Now, if I really wanted to get into this trade again, what would needed to happen, is a closure above here, right? I would want to see a closure above here before I take any movements when it comes to, you know, taking any trades on NAS, right? And the reason why is because we're at this zone where, potentially we can continue dropping, but if we do create a new, you know, lower low, lower high, lower low, ideally, right, you would want to see consolidation, break a structure, change of direction. The only reason why I wouldn't want to take this and continue going lower, it hasn't created another lower low. Usually I want to see two new higher highs and two new lower lows. But as of right now, what it's showing us, right, is just one low consolidation. If this market then goes down below again, breaks below, then I will consider throwing our fib on there and seeing what we can catch. But as of right now, we're gonna sit on our hands for NAS, and if we do break above, we will start considering buying scenarios, with the best risk reward. You know, same thing when it comes to NAS. As you can see, US 30. You know, US 30 is just tanking. Like you can see her. Obviously, right now, let me remove all these lines. I got the midnight open. Right, cool. Right, so as of right now, market looks like it's gonna tank. You know, market shifting. We're breaking below. We broke below. If we go on the 5 minutes, 1 minute, two. This was the setup, right? Consolidation, break a structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. Boom. Grab this from here. And we missed it, right? Now, could this continue tanking? Yes. What would be needed? Honestly, I don't like how we didn't break below right here. We rejected. We're keeping that line up. There is potential for it to continue go a little bit higher, right? But from what my perspective is like I said, I'm gonna just sit on it. Usually with this, especially these pairs, I like trading New York more often. Now when it comes to Bitcoin, right? I actually been holding this buy. Same thing, consolidation, break a structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. We did come into this zone, right? We perfectly entered me in, and we just been just playing in this zone. What are a couple of scenarios that could happen? Number one, we can continue going lower, right? Maybe fill this area right here. And if we did break lower, we're looking at Bitcoin coming back, right? Which hasn't been done since early to 2023, right? We can see Bitcoin at 40K, right? 40 to 50K, all the way to 27, right? So for me, just check here. Boom, right? These are the two zones that I have where Bitcoin can reject, continue going higher. Ideally, I would want this right here. Um, but it can hypothetically just continue going lower. And what we do as traders, what you're supposed to be doing is you're not supposed to be um, reacting, right? You're supposed to be, um, I guess the reacting is not the right word. I guess you don't want to be impulsive. That's the word I want to say. You don't want to be impulsive when it comes to trading, right? You want to be reactive, right? Let data show you what comes in play, and what are the potentials, and always look at both ends. This is a potential what can happen, and if this happens, then this is gonna happen, and that's how I assume and attack trading. But yeah, I'm gonna be patient when it comes to indices. Oil, right? As we can see, this can just continue going up. Well, let's move this, right? It can just potentially continue going up. Boom. I gotta remove all these and then put them back in. But yeah, we can see it come down, work its way down. Then, whoa! I just saw Solana at $80. It's crazy. Um, cool. So now when it comes to silver, yeah, I gotta delete all of these. Two. What I'll do, I'll open it for everyone. Is there a specific probably trade you want me to look at? Specific pair you want me to look at? My bad. As of right now, like I said, this gold trade we called out a little earlier is running. Once we hit $250, I will be moving my stop loss to break even. So right now we're just waiting on this trade to work its way up, lower, higher. Boom, create new highs. Cool. 222. Let's check out. What did you say? Bullish or bearish on NAS? Let's look it up. Overall, bearish if we go to war. No, why hasn't FXM been working? NAS. 100. 222. No. NAS 100. Forex.com. I am bearish. I'm bearish when it comes to NAS. I would want to see. I wouldn't sell right now, but I would want to see 23 before we see a rejection for a bullish tendency. But as of right now, as we're looking at NAS, and it's following through, it looks very bullish, right? Even, it's just creating new lows, new highs, lower highs. And right now, again, if we do break below here, just builds another confirmation that we will continue breaking below. But yeah, I am bearish when it comes to NAS. Amazing incels. Yeah, I know it's you, Austin. I see your picture. We can look at some crypto as well, guys, before we end up the call. Very simple. Like I said, the only things I really focus on is commodities and indices. Now, when it comes to ICP or Solana, you ask yourself, like, where is it gonna stop? Where to win, right? For me, I think this is probably that zone, that we can start rejecting out of. And if we get a big movement from Solana, it would be beautiful because we have our consolidation, our break of structure, higher high, higher low. We stayed above this area, and we came into the zone. We had a rejection. You could have bought at 68, currently at 84. Link, oh my gosh, Link is at $8, which is super dope. Just in general, again, you're looking at the weekly. You grab the top to the low. We're at that zone, right? We're here again. This could be it, right? This could be it. But again, if we look at this, right, came back, had that movement. I would want, Chainlink to be this to be Chainlink zone. But that means, as well, that would have to be Bitcoins. ICP, we're holding, right? Hold, never fold. Look at that. If we make this work and if this project goes crazy, we will be making history, guys, when it comes to NAS. I like how we didn't break below this wick. We broke above, right? So it's looking good. If you haven't bought any, you can. Filecoin is under $1. I mean, you can't really beat these prices, guys. When it comes to crypto, Jupiter at up 17 cents is crazy. Was once at 7.6. Yeah, Jupiter and Caspa, right? Caspa right now at a good zone of buying at 2 cents. I remember when people were buying at 14 cents, 11 cents. Look for buys on natural. Looking for buys on natural gas. Yeah, we can check that out, dude. Natural gas. Which one is it? Austin. NGS. Is it this one? Features. XNG USD. Okay. XNG USD. Right. So natural gas, right? It is looking bullish as we break down to the 50 minutes. Looks nice. Definitely, we can start working our way up. I personally wouldn't look for buys just because I don't see my setup. I would have to wait, right? My position of waiting would be something like this, right, to this zone. But again, check this out. This was beautiful. Consolidation, break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. Like, you can't make this up. It's clockwork. It's, textbook. So definitely I am bullish, right? I just don't think I'm bullish yet. Consolidation, break of structure, new highs, natural gas. And like I said, natural gas is a big resource when it comes to a lot of things when it, just in general in the world. So this can be something that is used, especially if we go to war. 222. Cool. Tesla. Tesla, we bought not too long ago. We're still holding, right? Usually I don't buy automatically off just one high, but this was a bigger time frame, so I was open to it. But we can still work our way down below. Wouldn't recommend getting back into this. I'm actually gonna probably break even on this Tesla option trade. So Snapchat is at $5, guys. This is fucking lit. Buy Snapchat, right? I think right now it's the best time to buy Snapchat. I've seen a couple people like Amazon looking into it. Obviously we've been hearing, Mike Sotero talk about it. I'm gonna be shorting T-Mobile, right? I can see shorts from T-Mobile. Crazy because I was just working there recently for their corporate. So from what I've seen, business isn't the best. Can still work with it's way down. It's been having a very big down spiral. And we might be able to catch a couple sells, right? Boom. Um, see. Maybe. We're going to be patient. USDJPY had a crazy dip down, right? Created new highs, came to that 786, pushing back up. Be patient. I don't really see much, right? Well, what I want to see. So for me, I'm really just being patient. It looks like gold is the only thing we're playing out. It does look like we hit 250. So guys, if you did get into this trade with me, we will be moving this to break even, right? As you can see, this is now the previous low as well. So now we will start moving stop loss as the market continues to go higher. But this is a successful trade, guys. If you got in it, congratulations. Sells on back around 51, 58. Got it, dude. But if there's no more questions, guys, definitely, let this trade ride. I see this at least coming, taking out these highs. If you do want to tune in a bit more, I might hop on TikTok. We'll hop on TikTok, maybe find a couple trades that we can scalp. But as of right now, we're holding gold, and this might just be the only trade we take tonight, especially if I'm just waiting. I want to see what happens tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of news. There's going to be a lot of reports. Trump is going to have a lot of speeches within the weeks. A lot of updates are going to happen with the war. You just want to stay on standby and ready for any convenience that happens. So guys, that being said, I do appreciate everyone hopping on. We have 21 viewers, right, guys? So what we'll do, right, make sure you drop any setups in the chat. I'll be reaching back out. And if I see anything else, I'll drop it directly to y'all so we can all make money together. So guys, that being said, enjoy your Sunday evening. Set up your week. Be intentional. Journal your trades, right? And make sure that you are not over trading. You are not putting yourself in positions into failing your plan, right? Your plan is the most important thing. So that being said, guys, have a great Sunday night, and we will see y'all later this week.